You are welcome back to our page. I want to appreciate everybody that has liked our page, that has been able to help us to grow from the level we are to the level we are going to. There is a place that we are actually going to. I want to thank everybody that has been supporting us. I want to thank people that have been liking, people that have been sharing our page, people that have been viewing our videos. I want to actually really appreciate you. God bless you. Today we shall be discussing about lesson to learn from Ekweremadu Saga. Lesson to be learned from Ekweremadu Saga. There are actually some things to learn there. There are some things to pick out of the saga. But before I continue with the lesson, let's watch this video.
After taking account of the aggravating and mitigating factors in your case, I impose a sentence of 9 years and 8 months imprisonment. Subject to allowing for the time which you have spent remanded in custody, you will serve 2/3 of the sentence in custody and will be on licence thereafter for the rest of the sentence. You can sit down. Abina Abeta, stand up please. There are aggravating features in your case. You deliberately targeted a victim who was particularly vulnerable due to his young age, his isolation from his immediate family, and his poverty. After the conspiracy to exploit C was thwarted, you continued to try and find another person to be exploited in the same way. As against that, you have no previous convictions, and you are a person of good character. The applicable starting points are custodial sentences of 10 years in the case of Abina Abeta. You can sit down. Dr. Beatrice Ekweremadu, would you stand up please? In your case, I adopt a starting point of 6 years custody. I do not consider that the aggravating factors that are present in the case of your co-defendants apply to you. You were not directly involved in the identification of the donor, and the evidence does not show that you were directly involved in the attempts to identify a further donor after the transplant did not go ahead. I take account of all the mitigating features that Mr. Mahindru KC has identified, and the content of the thorough and helpful pre-sentence report prepared by Jessica Stephen of the Probation Service. You are a person of good character. You helped set up the ECOA Foundation with your husband, and you have been closely involved with its important charitable work. Much of the character evidence I have read applies also to you. You were also motivated by the desperate plight of your daughter and by maternal love. Further, in your case, I accept that although Sonia is an adult, you have substantial caring responsibilities towards her. Your incarceration will have a significant impact on her, in that she will no longer be able to rely on your presence as a source of care and support. Having regard to those factors, I impose a sentence of 4 years and 6 months imprisonment. You have spent 234 days on an electronically monitored curfew between 9 p.m. and 7 a.m. I specify that the credit period for the purposes of Section 240A of the Criminal Justice Act 2003 is 117 days. So that period shall count towards your sentence. Subject to that, and subject to allowing for the time you have spent remanded in custody, you will serve 1/2 of your sentence in custody. The applicable starting points are custodial sentences of 10 years in the case of Abina Abeta, 10 years and 6 months in the case of Ekweremadu, and 6 years in the case of Beatrice Ekweremadu.
You're welcome. Having watched the video that I show, in that video you will see that Ekweremadu was sentenced to 10 years imprisonment and the wife along 6 years, and the Dr. Bina Beta, was sentenced also to 10 years imprisonment. And despite the fact that there are many other prominent people that actually appeal on behalf of Ekweremadu to that the UK government should tamper justice with mercy, Professor Ibe appeal, former president of the country appeal, and many other people appeal, but the UK government actually sentenced him and the wife to jail. The first lesson that I want us to learn from this is that, or the first thing that I want us to look at in this scenario is that Ekweremadu was in power from 3rd June 2003 to 5th of May 2023, which is exactly 10 years. 10 years. He was in power as a Senate Vice President for 10 years. Ekweremadu has all the power to influence creation or establishment of hospitals that can take care of many things. It may not actually be heart transplant hospitals, but he has power to have different kind of hospitals. In his 10 years in power, Ekweremadu has power or opportunity to bring to Enugu State something, hospitals, road, or anything that will affect the life of mankind. Ekweremadu, some people may come out to say that he has lesser power, but I will still say and continue to say that ordinary chairman of a local government has little power over some things in this country, in his constituency, in his ward, in his local government. Likewise, House of Assembly has something in their capacity to be done. Ekweremadu will not tell me that he doesn't have at least $1 billion throughout his 10 years rule or 10 years in power. But we did not see any significant things that he actually did when he was in power. Ekweremadu was in power for 10 years. Now he will be in jail for 10 years. He has enjoyed the first 10 years, and I want to believe he's going to enjoy the last 10 years in prison. It's the first lesson, like I said, is that whatever power, whatever opportunity that we have, let us use it rightly. Wherever opportunity, any type of opportunity that we have, whatever, let us use it rightly. That is number one. Number two, lesson that I want us to learn is that no matter the height that we have gotten to or we are, we can come back to the lowest low. Ekweremadu will not in his life imagine that he can become a prisoner after attaining such power in Federal Republic of Nigeria. But now we can see that from grace is now in grass. From fry from fry pan is now in fire. Somebody who has ruled, somebody who has power, somebody who has influence, somebody who sits among the people that determines the affair of this country can as well become a prisoner. He will never cross his mind. So whatever height we might have gotten to, let us think of tomorrow, because anything can happen. The third lesson that I want us to learn from this scenario, or from all this issue that happened, is that in our life, do not, or we should not, relegate anybody. The smallest person can push down the greatest person. Ordinary ants can kill an elephant. Ordinary ant can kill an elephant. Look at the young boy that rubbished the life and the achievement of Ekweremadu. Look at the boy, less than 20 years of age, no experience, no education, and he rubbished the achievement of a lawyer for that matter, senate president, a senator for that matter. So don't ever think you are bigger than everybody or anybody, because the smallest one can pull you down. No matter what height you have gotten to, no matter what height you are, don't ever think somebody does not have meaning. I can do whatever I like with their life. I can do whatever things that is in my power to him. No, because this person can do, he who is on the floor, does not fear to fall. It is the people that are up that will be afraid to come down. But somebody that is already down is not afraid to fall because he's already down. So don't ever think there is nobody that somebody does not matter. Don't ever think that somebody does not matter. We all matter. Let's respect whatever status, whatever age, whatever level. Let's respect everybody that cross our path. I am not saying Ekweremadu does not respect the boy, but I am only using a scenario to teach us a lesson that we should all respect anybody that cross our path, because we never might tell. He who is on the floor does not fear to fall. Another lesson that we need to learn, which I think is the fourth lesson, and that is where I will stop because of the length of the video, is that we should never be accomplice to anybody when helping, when rendering help, when extending the hands of fellowship to people. Let us be careful. Let us be careful. The doctor has just banked 10 years imprisonment, and I'm sure immediately after his service jail time, they will push him back to Nigeria. His certificate will have been seized. I am not saying that will be the end of his life, but that may be the end of his career. That may be the end of his. He may become nobody at the end of the day. But I pray that God will have mercy. So let us be careful when we are helping. Let us be careful when we are extending hands of fellowship. Let us be careful, and let us be sure that whatever path we want to tread is a path to justice, is the right path. It's not going to be the path that will draw us down. Tomorrow we are going to meet again where we are going to discuss some other lesson that we need to learn in life. Thank you so much. God bless you.